Hi guys, John here again. I'm back out in the garden patch here, and today's video is gonna be about trimming these big boys right here, these tomatoes. As you might well know, in the ground especially, tomatoes can get quite carried away with themselves, especially when this sort of tropical heat starts kicking in, because they are natives of Mexico in Central America, where down there they're actually a perennial shrub that grows year-round. So when this sort of tropical heat combined with frequent afternoon rains start kicking in the summer, you get for some explosive growth. And not only, as you can see with these peppers down there, hopefully you can see this, they can grow over their neighbors, which is no good, but they can get tall and gangly like this, and basically the fruit quality goes down. So today I'm going to show you exactly how and what to trim in this big boy here. So basically what you want to start to do is cut away any of these side shoots here. I'll show you an example of one right here. Anything that's growing over another plant, like see here's my pepper. This is growing over it, so I would take away that, such as this here. Get my knife out. Yeah, there we go. Just cut that away. So that's the first thing you want to do, is cut away any limbs that are overhanging other vegetables, or in this case over here, crowding out other tomatoes, maybe less vigorous type of varieties. Second of all, let's see if I can't find a good example. Basically, you want to cut out any suckers. Anything that's kind of more vegetative and less fruit producing. And frankly, actually, I'm doing pretty good with suckers. I'm not seeing any suckers, but just as an example, I'll show you where they usually are so you can tell. Usually, they'll come right out of the axil in between the stem and this side shoot here, and they'll come out right there and start producing another kind of leafy stem. You don't want that, because that's just going to drain anything away from the more fruit producing shoots up here, you see? Okay. So you want to get rid of any of those. I don't have any of those, so I can't cut away anything like that. But third thing here is basically you're just gonna want to try to trim the tomato plant as if you were going to trim a shrub. And basically, if you planted your tomato plants in one of these cages, it's a little bit easier because you can use that as a guide. And as long as nothing has any of the fruit on it, you want to cut everything back so it kind of more or less stays within this cage. Like get rid of this over here because it's kind of getting in the way of the squash. Cut back some of these taller stems so the plant's not overstepping its reach, so to speak, or chewing more than I can swallow, so to speak. So basically, those are the three types of things you're going to look for when trimming your tomato plants. Some things to keep in mind are don't go overboard. A good rule of thumb is you don't want to cut back more than 15% of the plant. Any more than that, and it might have some adverse effects. Thankfully, tomato plants are a lot more forgiving than most plants, so you don't have to worry about it too much. Second of all, you want to do your trimming in the early morning or late afternoon if you have to. Everything's better in the morning when it comes to gardening, I find. Like right now, the sun's coming up, so any trimming I gotta do pretty quickly. Plants just seem to recover more. Second of all, after you're done trimming, make sure you give the plant a good soaking if it hasn't already rained like it did last night, I believe. So that's fine. Of course, when it comes to fruit in the vegetable garden, less is more. It might not seem it, but it really is. Less high quality fruit, meaning only a few fruit but high quality, is better than a whole lot of iffy tomatoes or squash or whatever. Basically, with the trimming, you're going to be cutting back on some of the potential fruit you're going to get, but in the end, you're going to get better quality fruit when you do get them, because the plant will focus more energy on the fruit, less on expansive leaf growth and fruit growth. If you just let it go, it will produce 6 million tomatoes, but they won't necessarily all be good. And plus, you probably won't find all of them because the plant's too shrubby. And that's no good. That's just waste, anyways. And plus, your tomatoes will just taste better, really. So basically, that is what I wanted to talk to you about. If you have any questions on today's topic or tomatoes in general, please email me or leave a comment. If you have suggestions or ideas for what I would cover next, give me a shout out. And as always, like and subscribe. As a little bonus, I'll throw in a little tip about squash and melons in general. Once they get to about 4 or 5 feet tall, and I'm about 6 feet tall, and this squash vine you're looking at right here, this summer squash vine, it's just about, the tallest vine's just about at my neck, and I'm about 6 feet tall, so I actually gotta let it get a little too tall, but that's okay. But once it gets to about 4 or 5 feet tall, you want to find the growing tip of the vine, and don't be shy, just yank that bugger right off of there. And what that's gonna do is it's gonna focus. Well, that's basically breaking off what's known as the terminal bud, which is the growing tip of any plant. And that's going to send all the hormones, all the growth hormones that was going to that growing tip, and it's going to focus and redistribute all that power and energy and nutrients to other parts of the plant, primarily to the fruit, which is good, and we want that energy in that fruit because we want more fruit production. Alrighty? Okay. Everybody have a good gardening day.